Hi, I'm Eric from the Learning Development Department. The role of on-the-job trainers, also known as OJTs, is critical to providing great training for our new team members for every position in our restaurants. Remember when you were a new team member at Cooper's Hawk and you were trying to learn all the new tasks, processes, information, and standards of your position? It was probably pretty overwhelming at first. However, you likely had the support of an on-the-job trainer who helped you learn and develop in the moment and provided feedback to make sure you are successful. Let's hear from Chrissy, one of our on-the-job trainers, and why she enjoys this role in her restaurant.
Being an OJT provides variety to my day, keeps me on my toes. I always enjoy teaching. That gives me the opportunity to go back to helping others learn and help develop. It helps me develop within the company. Keeps me constantly following the standards just to be that positive role model.
An on-the-job trainer, or OJT, is the person who guides position-specific training in a hands-on working environment. Additionally, there are some responsibilities and expectations that come with being certified as an OJT. You will be expected to model the tasks, processes, and standards of your position or station, effectively communicate information to the new team members you are training, provide coaching and feedback as appropriate, communicate with your manager or LRT when follow-up is needed, and be a brand and culture ambassador for Cooper's Hawk. So now that you understand the importance of your role and the responsibilities you'll be expected to fulfill, let's take a look at the different types of training that you will need to train our new team members each and every time. The first type of on-the-job training you will facilitate is training new team members on knowledge, communicating the information they need to know to be able to do their job. Here's an example.
Okay, we've had some guests in our section. Let's go check in on them. Remember, our wine of the month is the GSM, which stands for Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre. It's a Rhone-style wine, but we source grapes from California. It's a nice, smooth red with aromas of black currant, raspberry, and strawberry, and tobacco, and chocolate. It pairs well with the short ribs. Got it? Remember to offer a taste, too, okay? Great,
yeah,
let's go.
Hi. Welcome to Cooper's Hawk. My name is Kevin. I'll be taking care of you today.
Great.
Have you dined with us before?
I have.
Oh, well, that's great. I'm guessing you're pretty familiar with our wonderful food and wines.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you happen to be a member of our wine club?
I am, and you know, I've really been wondering about your new wine of the month. I think it's called the GSM.
Yeah, you're right. It is called the GSM.
Yeah, what does GSM stand for? I haven't heard of that one before.
Yeah, GSM stands for something. You're right. It is a wine, a red, which is, it's like a Roman wine, kind of tastes like chocolate, and it goes with meat, which is great.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Time out. This was an example of what happens when we give information during on-the-job training, but forget to set the team member up for success. The impact of this interaction has three components. For the team member, they experienced a sense of failure or embarrassment, or even worse, have started cultivating bad habits by making up information. For the guest, and in this case, a wine club member, they don't have the kind of experience they've come to expect from our restaurants. For the restaurant, the guest may decide not to purchase a glass of the wine of the month, cancel their wine club membership, or come back to the restaurant at all. The good news is, this doesn't have to happen. Let's see how we can change this interaction.
So we've had some guests in our section. Let's take a minute and go greet the table really quickly. But before we do, I want to talk to you about this month's wine of the month, which is our GSM. The GSM stands for Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, which are three different kinds of red wine grapes. Can you repeat those back to me?
So Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre.
Right. The GSM has a smooth mouthfeel with aromas of black currant, raspberry, strawberry, tobacco, and chocolate. It goes well with our short ribs. So now pretend I'm a guest and tell me about the wine of the month.
Okay. All right. Our wine of the month is the GSM. It's a smooth red, and you may pick up aromas of berries, tobacco, and chocolate. Mm-hmm. I'd really recommend it with our short ribs.
Awesome.
Hi. Well, I went ahead and put your appetizer order in. Could I interest you in a glass of wine?
You mentioned that GSM earlier. What exactly is that?
Yeah, I did. Our GSM, it's our wine of the month, and GSM stands for Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. It's a really smooth red blend. You're going to find aromas of chocolate and tobacco and berries, and I think you'd really enjoy it.
That That sounds fantastic. Could I get a taste?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll be
Great.
right back.
Thank you.
What do you think went well?
Well, I actually remembered what GSM stood for. I talked about all the aromas, and I thought my overall description of the wine was pretty strong.
Yeah, I completely agree. You said it perfectly and the aromas were correct. Next time, remember to tell them what it pairs well with.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so how about when I bring out the tasting, I can talk about how it pairs really nicely with our short ribs.
Awesome, perfect idea.
Awesome.
This second example went much better than the first because the OJT used tell, do, review. First, the OJT communicated the information about the wine of the month in a simple way. Next, the OJT allowed for some simple practice to confirm that the team member understood and could apply the information. Then, after the new team member used their knowledge with a guest, the OJT provided some coaching and feedback to ensure the next interaction was even better. By using tell, do, review, the OJT set the new team member up for success in this and in future guest interactions. The second type of on-the-job training you will facilitate is training new team members on skills, teaching them the tasks, processes, and standards of doing their job. Let's take a look at another example, this time in the kitchen.
All right, so here we are. We're going to cut some cucumbers on this mandolin. You've done this before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome because we are super slammed right now. So basically all you're gonna do is take cucumber here, go back and forth on the blade, get some great slices. I'll come back after you get a whole bunch done and we'll see how you're doing. Awesome.
Okay, thanks.
Time out! This was an example of how the on-the-job training can go dangerously wrong. Aside from not being able to properly prep the cucumbers, poor on-the-job training could have caused injury to the team member, jeopardized the health and sanitation of other team members or the guests, or impacted the food quality. This type of situation can always be avoided. Let's take a look at this scenario again, but this time using a model that will protect the team member, the food, and the guests.
All right, so we're gonna slice some cucumbers here on this mandolin. Now, you've done this before, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, either way, we're gonna walk through step by step because I want you to feel comfortable with what you're doing. First and foremost, safety. So we always wanna start with our cut gloves because the mandolin is very sharp. And then we're gonna make sure we cut off both ends of the cucumber and run it over the mandolin in a smooth motion. Hey, you know what? Here, let me show you how it's done.
Okay.
All right, the first thing you want to do is cut off both ends to make sure it's all flush. Do that like so. Okay. And then we'll move the mandolin over here. And you're going to put the end of the cucumber on the mandolin like this, and then just move the cucumber right over the blade like so. Just like that. Okay, so now it's your turn, and we're actually going to use everything that I've just showed you. I'd like you to show me how to do it. Great. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and stop. Everything has been great so far. Wonderful job on making sure you get everything set up. The one thing I would make sure that you watch out for is to hold the cucumber straight and flat onto there, so that way you get even slices throughout the whole time. All right, give it another shot. Outstanding.
In this example, our on-the-job trainer used a slightly different model. Tell, show, do, review. First, the OJT gave an overview of the task and made sure safety precautions were taken. Next, he demonstrated the task, showing the proper procedure and technique. Then, the OJT had the team member practice those same steps, confirming understanding. Finally, he gave coaching and feedback to improve performance. Tell, show, do, review not only is an effective way to teach a new skill, but it also helps to model and reinforce safety and sanitation standards. The purpose of feedback is to reinforce correct actions and point out actions that need to be corrected with more practice. In both types of training we've seen, the review step gives the opportunity to provide feedback to the team member. Be direct, provide straightforward feedback in a timely manner. And be specific, focus on the actions and opportunities for improvement using clear language and reinforcing standards. Successful OJTs can only be great at giving feedback if they can also communicate effectively. Here are some tips. Think before you speak. Make eye contact with the team member. And be aware of body language, like facial expressions and gestures, that both you and the team member are using during feedback. Now that you know what it takes to be an OJT, here are some best practices to help you be your best. Be professional. From uniform to execution, know and model the Cooper's Hawk standards of your position. Be patient. Everyone learns in different ways and at different speeds. Don't panic if the team member you're training doesn't get something the first time. Show them the steps again and provide coaching and feedback as they practice. Remember that you always have the resources of your LRT and your manager if you feel the new team member needs more follow-up and training. Be positive. As you coach new team members, use positive language, reinforce good behaviors, and encourage them to try again and apply your feedback. Keep our values in mind and be sure to celebrate their success. You've already taken the first step to being certified as an OJT, watching this video. Here are the next steps to complete your certification. First, review what you've learned in this video with your lead restaurant trainer. Second, refresh your knowledge of the standards of your position or station. Third, review any training materials that are used during on-the-job training, such as checklists and job aids. And lastly, schedule time with your lead restaurant trainer to complete the certification activity, which is a demonstration of tell, show, do, review. You've learned the importance and benefits of your role, the 2 types of on-the-job training, and how to provide coaching and feedback. Congratulations! You're now ready to take on the next steps to become a Cooper's Hawk on-the-job trainer.